The wheel is turning. The wheel.
No, literally.
Hey guys, welcome to Starseed Imparts.
Episode 2. All right, so what is the topic for today, Leah?
We had quite a few topics, and we've kind of narrowed it down a bit since each topic is kind of very important.
Yeah, we can get really deep with each topic, but that might be a little overwhelming. So today we're gonna just, pinpoint all the things that we think is most important on your beginning journey of a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, especially since it's already so overwhelming is. So main big topic of the day is going to be the beginning signs of awakening.
Yes.
And it's kind of, this is where it gets a little interesting because many people have different paths that they take.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So I know before even going into the beginning signs, there's just so much that starts to come up beforehand, and it's scary.
Yeah, definitely.
It's confusing, it's overwhelming. Lots of triggering emotions come up for a lot of people.
Right. So I think one of the most common emotions that come up is frustration and confusion. Now, when you hear those two words, it's like something that we can kind of deal with every day in minimal ways and big ways as well. However, if we're going in our everyday life and there's this overwhelming feeling of just dread or like frustration, like you're not on the right path, or there's something else that you're meant to be doing, and it's like this energy that stirs inside you, and it's like that energy doesn't have a proper outlet, and so it causes more confusion. And then we'll get more into like the chaos energy that also occurs along this journey as well. But for most people, frustration and confusion, I would say, is like the number one thing that people are like, okay, this is like the beginning signs of an awakening, because your body is trying to tell you, hey, something's wrong. We're not in alignment. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. So
yeah, the body really speaks. And it's crazy because especially like whatever's triggering you at the moment, you'll notice that body part, wherever like the root of it is, you're gonna feel it in that specific area.
Wow, yeah.
And it could be kind of different for different people too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
even within that, there's variety.
Yeah, that's exactly. So like I know you, like after just me hearing you talk over the years, yeah, kind of.
We're almost there.
Yeah. Over the time that I've known you, you always mention like in your wording, like, oh, I felt it here.
Yes.
And then like I could feel that emotion here. And for me, it's like, it's a little bit like that, but not as detailed as for you. So it's really interesting. Yet we have similar experiences. However, it manifests differently.
Yes.
So for me, it's just like, I just feel it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I can feel where it is. However, it's just like a knowing. Like I just know what part. It's not more like I feel that part.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing a reading in person. Then I can feel theirs. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was not very tapped in too much too until I read this book called A Little Bit of Intuition.
Ooh.
And it goes over like all the clairs in it too, and I think that really, like when I was feeling like super frustrated and confused, I didn't know what to do. I had like, going into my background a little bit, I grew up very Christian, and then I kind of was not religious at all, and then I went back into it, and then I learned about Buddhism, and I was kind of all over the place. So when all these emotions started to be brought up, I didn't know. I thought I was just going through another period almost.
Yeah, exactly. It can be hard to tell sometimes, right?
Yeah, so I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just going to research everything.
Yeah. It's like you're a brand new baby soaking in all of that information. So it's like when you start this journey, like Leah mentioned, it can be that you can go kind of in different paths that will all lead you to the same place eventually. So based on when we have that frustration and confusion, a lot of times we don't know what it's trying to tell us, and it can be stemming from like religious backgrounds where our beliefs, let's say like where you don't believe in spirituality, maybe you don't believe in chakras or energy centers, you know, you only believe in maybe like the Bible God, which is a false god, and we can tell in the writings and when we compare all the other texts, and like it's all about being open and just questioning everything, right? Especially in the beginning of the journey, allowing yourself to be open to all the different possibilities so you don't cut yourself short from a truth per se, you know, that really can free your spirit. But because you have certain layers, certain projections, conditions that have been placed on you by yourself or your environment or the people around you, or even genetically through your DNA line, right? Through the bloodline. So all of that stuff, ooh, I just got chills with that. So that's a huge thing, like ancestral traumas, curses, patterns like alcoholism, abuse, like that follows in a family line, you know? So things like that can deter us from taking different routes or having different experiences with people as well. But you're still learning the same thing, but only in that unique way for your journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's certain like constants too. Like I feel like everyone that I've talked to that has been through some sort of spiritual journey, whether they're just beginning or they're, you know, further along, you know, they all like have some feeling of like, I was very frustrated and I was lashing out and I didn't know what to do and I felt confused, and it's like kind of like how we talked about in the first one, that whirlwind of everything.
Yes.
It's so easy to get stuck in that like loop of like repeat.
Exactly. So that's kind of like when we get, for an example I can give personally is when I went to college, first generation to go to college in my family, and I only did it because everyone else was going to college, you know, like I went to a pretty good high school, and so everyone was going to either Ivy Leagues or just good colleges. If you went to a community college, they're like, what are you doing, you know? In chemistry, I was like, I don't like this, I don't enjoy it, but I was doing it for something outside of myself, right? While I was in college, I had that inner voice, that intuition that was telling me like, girl, this is not what you're gonna do in the future, like, but I kept pushing it, I kept bypassing it, right? So then I became stuck in this loop of confusion and frustration because I kept bypassing my intuition, and my intuition eventually would either get louder, but for some people, depending on how much you close that off, it gets quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. It's already subtle in the ways that it comes through, especially in the beginning and stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, have you guys heard those stories though? Like people be doing crazy fucking shit, and then they all of a sudden hear a noise being like, no, or like, don't. Like it takes a lot for spirit to do that, but like that just shows like
it really it's crazy.
Yeah, but we are really being guided and protected and watched over. So it's like, guys, just know that even in the midst of the chaos, just know that you have a guidance system watching over you, especially if you're starting your spiritual journey. So yeah.
Breaking out of that cycle was like so difficult because I feel like I went through like kind of the same thing in college where I changed my major 3 times.
It's normal.
3 times, and I was still just like, I feel like I was like, this is a good career. Like very logical brain on it.
Yes.
And I still like have passion for it, I would say, but now I'm like, so much was going wrong in college, and I just kept falling back into it that I think I just like hit this point where I was like, I need some sort of guidance to get me through this. And I really like, that's when I really hunkered down on like, I need to, since I am a coder, I was like, I need to recode my brain's programming here.
No, it is like that, guys. Like, it really is. You could literally, like, boop, 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 for real, and, like, move things around, like, put things, like, it really is like that.
Yeah.
And you can use your imagination to do that, and that is a superpower.
Yes.
100%. And I know it sounds like, when they were like visualized white light over, I was like, what the fuck? Really? Like, really? Like, is that working? Like, seriously, you know?
Yeah.
I was a skeptic too. I was like, okay. But the thing is, you can't deny the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the second that you're like, wait a minute, there's really something to this, and you allow yourself to be open and you surrender, the magic just flows.
Yeah. I think surrender can be very scary. Because I struggled with that for so long because of my mental health issues. I'm like, if I surrender to this, I'm going to be locked up the rest of my life. There was maybe a few times there where I had to be under supervision. But there's a difference too. Like, I had to really like teach myself the difference between like surrendering and releasing, and surrendering and staying.
I was gonna say, there's probably people out there that may get triggered by that word surrender, because they may associate it with weakness.
Yeah.
Or giving up their power. And so what I was gonna say is, that's why also like with words, if you get triggered by a certain word, that's a greater opportunity for you to look into that, to free yourself from certain barriers and shackles of that, you know? So like, also like, what does surrender mean? Like, you know, it could mean so many different things in varying degrees for everyone, you know? Like, how much do you have to surrender? Like, for example, when I have clients here and they talk about like, oh, well, like, I don't have control over this or that, or like, I just don't know if it's like, whoa. Like, you just need to surrender, like, the control, the need to know what's next. Like, why take away the magic from that? That causes so much, like, anxiety, I feel, when you're, like, trying to know exactly what's next, you know? And just have that security blanket there. There is no room for growth in that space. I mean, there are periods where security and comfort is good and it's needed, and it's in the time of integration, right?
Yes.
However, at the large scheme of things, we have to just trust and flow. And that is the way that we would truly feel more alive and surrender to the flow. So it's not as stressful, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like society has programmed, especially in the United States too, but it's like, I feel like we're being so controlled and manipulated and like programmed in a way that it's like, you need to meet these life goals, I guess, at certain ages and stuff. And if you don't follow like all of the sheeps in the herd, then there's something like wrong with you.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people get hung up on like, well, I need to make X amount of money to be able to afford this and do this. And like, that is part where like, you do need those things, but at the same time, the growth is going to be stunted in a way. I won't say it won't ever happen, because you can still like break through in some areas, but if you're like just stuck, I feel like that's way like lower vibrational of like root chakra of being insecure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Then that root chakra, which is why we chose red for the color today.
Yes.
The root chakra, security to exist, to be here, to like have all the necessities of just living, you know, of just being a being, not living in like society, just like existing.
Yes.
And a lot of people are in that fight or flight mode, so it's hard to see clearly the path ahead. But in the beginning stages of awakening, it's going to be very apparent to you, the triggers, you know, people will start to show you, your environment will start to show you, you'll start to be asked a lot of questions, and you will feel lost.
Yeah.
You will, but not all wanderers are lost, right? It's, you know, your spirit, your soul knows where we're going. It's just about trusting the timing, trusting the divine intelligence that comes through your intuition, your unique system, and filtering and seeing if this is of purity, using your discernment, and then doing that all over again.
Yes, it really is like a cycle. I feel like it comes in like these waves, but it's not normal waves.
Yes, it's unique to everyone, right?
Yeah.
But there are waves. There's waves of like where you're lost and you're confused, and then you find a breadcrumb that leads you to another thing, and now you're at this like, oh wait. And then you come onto this like enlightenment journey, and then now things come full circle, and then now you have to integrate and rest also. So some people even get stuck in that limbo phase, and they're like, I feel like I have to do something. Or it's like, no, you don't gotta do anything. You just gotta surrender and just be.
Yes.
So,
and that's really tied into like, I feel like the more into it too, it goes with kind of like the seasons and stuff. Like winter is supposed to be rest and reset, and I've definitely been rested and resetting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the actual new year it does not end in December, guys. It does not. Like, why, when everything is dying, is it the new year? It does not make sense. Spring, March, that is when the new year is.
Yes.
So it totally makes sense why we as a collective want to rest during this time and not, like, make New Year's resolutions for the new year. You know what I mean? It's just not the time yet. But I like how you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah, and going into, like, backgrounds and beliefs, too. This is kind of where, you know, the discernment comes in again. Because since everyone does have different backgrounds and different experiences, different things that they've gone through, different insecurities, like, just, you know, everyone's a unique little puzzle piece.
Yes. It's part of the whole.
Yeah, you really got to listen to that inner voice and not, like, your voice, but the higher voice that it is there to guide you, and it's hard to listen to it.
Right, and some people may be like, but I just hear my voice, right?
Yes.
So how would you, like, describe or, like, give tips for someone to, you know, differentiate?
Yeah, I would say anytime I'm feeling an emotion, I try to practice some distance from it, some detachment, because I know most of the time when I'm having negative feelings, especially, that's not my voice. That's my anxiety or society or whatever is, you know, wants that to come through, whatever lower being that is, that's putting that voice inwards.
Right.
So I know my emotions are not me. I can feel emotions, but that's a physical thing. That's not a spiritual. I mean, it can be, but when it's coming through as thoughts. Yeah. Anytime, too, there's, like, I call it the waterfall. If there's, like, lots of spiraling or running on thoughts and stuff, that's kind of where I use my discernment. And I'm like, okay, like, if I'm getting bombarded right now, that's definitely not my voice, because I would not. Nobody in their heart of hearts wants harm to themselves, too.
Right.
And if something's coming through that's, even if it's not negative, if it's overwhelming, then it's still not my voice saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. My voice is very quiet at times, because I'll have all this overwhelm at first. And then my little voice will be like, well, this isn't you. And I'm like, okay, well, I acknowledge it's not me, but
yes,
what do I do? And then, yeah.
I totally get that. Mine's kind of similar. Definitely, like, I have that voice where it's more snarky. It's more like, I could be very pessimistic.
Yeah.
I naturally am like a Virgo, you could relate to this, naturally want to perfect things, naturally want to fix things, or you can see what could do better, right? So you kind of can, you know, it can get there. It really can. So when I start getting thoughts like that, or like just a lot of anxiety driven, like, worries, I know, like, whoa. Either this is not my energy, because I do work with a lot of other people's energy. So sometimes, like, it can not cleanse properly, right? And, like, still attached. So I have to do that. Is it my own? Usually it's not my own. I feel like I'm very influenced by people's energies, especially being a Pisces rising and very mutable. Like, yeah, it can get a little crazy. Like, the first episode, damn, I felt like I was bonkers, like bouncing off the walls. Like, I don't know what that was, but today I feel a lot more like me, a little bit more chill. But my higher self's voice is very disciplined. She's like, you know that something like, I know you know that action would result in that type of result, you know, that type of experience. What did you learn from it? Is that something that you would like to go again? But it's very short, though. It's concise. It's like something. It will just be like, you know what your heart's telling you, or like something like that. Yeah. Or if I'm doing something wrong, it's like, you know, that was not right, or something. You know, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But it's a little bit more like of an authoritative yet compassionate and like kind.
I always
voice.
find that interesting too, because
Right?
Aquarius here, don't like authority.
Yeah.
So anytime I hear any sort of hint of authoritativeness in somebody's voice, I'm like, not doing that.
Right. Yeah, literally.
So it's really weird that it is like, it has that like authoritarianness about it, but it's like, it all comes from like, it's yourself though. And I'm very comfy with myself. So when I tell myself to do things, it's different than somebody else.
Right.
So it's like that.
Interesting. I wonder if the voice also comes through as your own voice then to help you, because this intelligent is very intelligent.
Yes.
So it knows exactly what you are comfortable seeing, guys, which is why when you do psychic work and people are like, oh my gosh, I saw this being in my room, da 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 da. Yes, that could be totally true.
Yes.
Right? But what I was trying to say is it could be also like showing a trickster spirit showing up to you in that form because they know that you would receive that form the best. So a common example is Jesus. A lot of people say, I saw Jesus. You may have. Yes, you really may have. However, it is a trickster spirit showing themselves as this golden, magnificent being.
Yes.
Because most of the time, guys, it's not like, it's usually just in the mind's eye, but you have to use your discernment.
Yeah.
You know, because if you run with that, it's like, how dangerous could that be? So there are a lot of people who run with it and then they go to the Bible.
Yeah.
You know? And then now it's like you're on that spiritual journey, but it's like a different kind, right?
Yeah.
Now you gotta kind of... So it's interesting. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think with going into our stories a little bit, since I did have lots of mental health issues, I really used like lots of therapy techniques at first.
Yeah.
And I feel like that somewhat guided me into like journaling more and getting to like the root.
Yeah.
And once kind of like really getting into like a practice almost, because I tried meditating before and it didn't do much.
Okay.
But steadily going at it, because I think like just with all of the chaos around like all of the emotions and the triggers and you know, especially my intention at the time was to heal my depression.
Right.
And how do you think the universe is going to show that to me? It's going to put me in situations that makes me feel depressed. And with each situation, I have to allow myself to feel it, know when to release it, and then go on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the part that you just reminded me of that's like could be totally unique to you, for example, like is maybe you are that, like for example, I have one teacher, Dr. Samuel Lee, he talks about chelantic science and he was a psychiatrist, or he is a psychiatrist, and he had these mental illnesses himself. He experienced it himself and then now is a physician and then saw it in the world and how society was doing it, knew something was off about it because the spiritual aspect was missing. Tied that together and he realized, holy shit, like I had to experience this for myself so I can get firsthand experience on how this feels, so then he can then use that to help other people and link spirituality together. So that's kind of like, you just reminded me of that because like why would you have gone through that, right? It's to learn, it's to teach later other people as well.
Yeah, I'm a deep feeler. From reading that book, I kind of figured out which of my clairs was the strongest, and it's definitely feeling things. So it like I feel like feeling things was my greatest weakness at some points in my life because I felt things too much. Way too much. I'm a very extreme, intense person, so it's like black or white sometimes. And when it was black, it was black, girl. It was black for a hot minute there.
Oh my gosh, no, I know that feeling so hard. The sensitivity and like the feeling, like a lot. Yeah, girl, that's still going on. Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think too, like the biggest game changer since breaking into everything, because then like once the like wheels start turning a little bit in my head, I was like, all right, like I kind of know what to do now.
Yeah.
And then another situation happens, and I'm like, what I used last time is not working now. So I need to find a new skill here, or different coping mechanism, I guess.
Yeah, like we're not meant to just use the same thing over and over and over. You know, if it's not working, try something else. Like that's the whole point. Change, evolution, and growth. Always pivoting. Yes. The momentum is important. So when you have the momentum and that's moving, you don't want to just stop the train. Like that causes a lot of energy to try to stop that train, right? If anything, you just pivot, open up a new lane, and that's how you pivot. So it's like we keep that energy flow going, and it's constantly being funneled, right? Instead of being stagnant and like, you know, leeching on to certain places and stuff and not giving us clear focus. Yeah, the like ability to be adaptable is flexible, fluid. Yes, very important. Yeah. And I'm a very fixed. I have mostly fixed signs in my birth chart, I don't like to be too fluid sometimes. I like to be stubborn. No, I get that. Like I'll dig my heel in, and then once I'm like, why is my heel in the ground? Then I'm like, okay, I need to release that. Yeah, right. So and I think too, like, I used to go heavy into like every time I felt something, I needed something spiritual to like remedy it in a way, and that then I was like, but I'm also here for a physical experience. Right, exactly. So, that is huge, girl. Because oh my gosh, I wanted to just leave. Not deal with people hurt me. Like I just did not want to deal with the physical realm. I was like, why am I here? Like it feels like nobody understood. Like the level of like just living was just so different than, you know? Yeah. And it's like, but it's true. We're here. We incarnated here for a reason. There's a purpose. And the purpose is a lot more, it can be collective than you think it is. Like it's not all about you, but it is. But it's like also, especially Starseeds, we are here on a collective journey, a collective mission. Okay, we're also all from different types of cosmic races. I mean, this stuff goes down to our DNA and what DNA is activated. And so that's why when you were talking to me about emotion, this is going off a little off track, but I feel like our viewers might be interested. Yeah. It's about indigo children. There's indigo types. I believe there's 4 types. And they all came in at different waves to usher in certain types of healing for the planetary grids and also for evolution of the overall consciousness of the people and the beings that are here. And originally these cosmic lineages are stemming from founder races, okay? So for example, indigo 3 children, actually they have this immense ability of polarity. So they are a lot of times admitted for bipolar disorder because they have, it's basically the way that their nervous system is set up and how their morphogenetic fields are set up to neutralize the polarities. So we would, and I believe that me and you both are this. Yes. Because chaos magic, I feel like really ties into this. Oh my God, yeah. And this mission is not for the faint because you can actually lose yourself, okay? Because you get into the dark. So what we do, we basically incarnated here to also bring our, you know, bring the lower beings, the beings who have disconnected from source, and we bring that, we filter these negative polarities into our being, our vessel. That's why we're feeling it in our being. And then we transmute that and we release and we use that energy for ourselves and also for the collective. And this is a collective mission, guys. Yes. I know this shit sounds probably way out there, and it's what is it? Reality is stranger than fiction. Like seriously, honestly. Like seriously, guys, like going before, like just like going all the way to like the birth of existence. You know what I mean? Like we are older than you think. Way, way, way older. So these things, these same lessons and whatever, like we have gone through many, many, many lifetimes working on our spiritual wisdom, our age, you know. That's why Earth is such a important place, because it's a school of polarity, of duality, and it's all about being able to balance it, and it's a constant ebb and flow. Yes, constantly. And the easier that you're able to realize this and see it from a higher perspective, you free the shackles.
Yeah.
You're out of the matrix.
That's also why you have the 7 chakras too, where the lower ones are all tied to a physical experience on Earth.
Exactly.
The upper ones are all about spiritual development and what ties you to your higher self, and then your heart is what ties both of them together. It's the balance of physical and spiritual.
Exactly. So
nice little sandwich.
Exactly. So when you're starting the spiritual journey, it's extremely important that you give yourself grace and patience.
Yeah.
Self-love is crucial on this path.
Chaos energy is heavily emotional.
Yeah, it truly is. And if you are not grounded in your heart center, it can really do more harm than good. So it's all about knowing how to direct this energy that is being created. Okay.
Starting with the root is always the best way to go. If you don't believe in the chakras too, anything, any practice or
physical exercise,
whatever helps you connect to that point of like feeling safe and secure in your body.
Yes, because it's like sometimes a lot of people are here. They're in the head. They're always thinking. Their bodies are just in like NPC, like AI mode. Like, okay, this is making me burp. So it's like connecting. I don't know. Spirit's like, So it's like connecting that through the heart space, and the heart space, guys, is like how much love, unconditional love, can you hold for yourself and for the people around you and for the environment. What you give to others is what you give to yourself. Like, also, if you give yourself that love, everyone else will feel that love even magnetized, and they also will get that upgrade. They'll feel that jolt. And the more people that we get onto the same track of following their passions and being in their authentic alignment, that will cause literally like exponential awakening in our collective, which will then heal suffering, traumas, poverty, like everything.
Yeah, and we'll definitely touch on that in another episode with a little bit more depth, because I know, like, for many years I was stuck on, like, my resentments. Yeah, there's a fun little activity I'll mention next time.
Ooh. Hey, yeah. Amazing. Well, guys, like, just know that you are like the caterpillar going into the cocoon. Right? We're gonna go into the abyss, to the dark, just a little bit, Actually, no, we're gonna go to the root.
Yeah, all the way inwards.
Yeah,
all the way in.
I mean, maybe just a little bit for now, and then eventually, we go there.
Tiptoe.
We go there.
You gotta test the waters.
Yeah.
Before you dive in.
Exactly, literally. And sometimes you just get thrown in, but it's like, hey, surrender.
Yes, it's all there for your highest good. So.
Yeah. I hope that we were able to like verbalize everything pretty well for you guys. Like this is a big space, right?
Yes.
We can go so crazy, and we can go really out there with it too.
Yeah.
So
even with the topic just today, I mean, I feel like we could talk for 3 days about it.
Literally. Oh my gosh. But that was really good. I had so much fun.
Me too.
Share all the guys' news, guys.
I don't talk about myself too much.
No, please do.
But I did last weekend get officially certified as a Jyorei practitioner. I've been doing lots of Jyorei on my friends and my animals especially.
Amazing. They need it, guys. Our animals need it.
Yes, so I will definitely be talking about that more as I start to gain some more experience and clients.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, should we record you doing a session on me?
Yes.
Would you guys want to see that? Absolutely.
Yes.
We should totally do that. Oh my gosh, I'm so down. So exciting. Guys, thank you so much for putting comments, liking the video. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy, like for real, because I know like this medicine is really needed in the collective, and I'm so excited to bring this to our community. Let us know down in the comments.
Growth and opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. So let us know in the comments what you liked about this video. Share us your stories. I mean, like, we have so many stories that everyone has gone through, and so we can really share and lean on each other, and
Also, any questions about what we talked about? Because I know we jump all over the place because we just bounce off each other's energy like that. So any questions?
Yes, please share the questions down below. Like, share this video, subscribe. I also have a nail channel, Nail Psychic Christine. You can go subscribe there too. I'm trying to get monetized. Okay, anyways, yes. Wait, show your nails. These are Leah's birthday nails, guys. Aren't they amazing? Oh, they're so cute. They really represent your energy. And
They really
look
do.
So good with this.
Oh, my Hecate crystals.
Oh my gosh, what the heck? Wait, that looks so good. It's like you matched it.
Yeah.
Didn't even purposely do that, right?
Unintentionally.
Oh my gosh. See? You see how it is? So,
Thank you so much.
thank you guys for watching. Until next time.
Yes.